The Apollo, run by Mackwop, had Adam22 on about a week ago now, and it has completely shattered the
West Coast,
the Figmunity world brotherhood bond. It seems like temporarily shattered because I guess this is the first time. This just split the iceberg.
What was the
The fact that Adam22 is even on the Apollo is the biggest thing that they felt like everybody crossed the line on, because Keem didn't. None of the Apollo members knew, so he came, and none of the Apollo members knew, because it was like this awkward moment of like, why the fuck is Adam22 here?
Yeah,
sits down. That's how it started.
Oh, he's staying.
Yo, yeah,
so
like,
they really didn't know.
like we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because when you watch the Apollo, I made sure to watch like 5 minutes before they started. They were just genuinely having like their conversation.
It was a regular Wednesday.
Yeah.
I thought they knew because TF didn't show up, but I guess that was just a coincidence.
I thought TF was there and then left. That's what I thought. But long story short, now everybody's mad. T-Rell got back on Fig, and he started doing a live stream, and it's hurt him. He also didn't only just take shots at Mackwop, he took shots at Pun for even just like being the destructive punstigator nigga. All this stuff where it's like, what happened to we were together? Like, y'all fucking with this white boy, and am I the only one in this beef? Like, nobody else is in this beef, so we can invite him to the Figmunity world. Even though that's not Figmunity world, we know that Apollo is the Apollo. But like, we can start inviting him in, and that's just be okay.
Who gave Pun like the right to feel this personal about like what happens with like the Apollo?
Pun gave himself that right.
But they don't give him that. They just don't give that to him. That's what it seems like. They just give him the respect he wants.
Yep.
Yeah, because
no pushback.
Like, it's never any like
pushback.
fight. They treat him like the OG, which, I mean, he probably is the oldest one.
Right.
But, you know.
I don't know. I think the highlighting thing is like T-Rell got on here. Heather started crying. T-Rell was doing a 1 hour rant. This nigga feels betrayed by everybody. He feels betrayed.
Yo, this is like
Pun.
Yeah.
I got Pun instigating constantly. I got Mackwop inviting the nigga over. I got just it's just, if he feels like he's done nothing but help people. And I do,
and the loyalty wasn't.
Yeah, the loyalty wasn't consistent. The loyalty wasn't consistent. He feels like he crashes out when it's fuck somebody, and everybody else is, well, you know, it's like, you know, y'all thing ain't really that big of a deal. But you would love to have me in your corner when I was crashing out behind you, for them. But now all of a sudden we
keep keying in public. Niggas? This is like when this is like when Obama dapped up Trump.
Yeah.
So many black women's hearts were broken.
And it seems like Pun is tired of being like the Draymond Green of the team. Like,
doing the dirty work
just
for
the
niggas.
Punisher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He kind of is.
He kind of, you know, he getting old.
Even though like Pun frames himself like he is, it's really T-Rell the one that's crashing out on everybody. He front lines the crash out because he has the biggest voice out of the crash outers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Pun crashes out all the time, but it's like, do we really care? He's not the most prominent. You know what I'm saying? It's,
and he's usually not like the most personally connected. Like when T-Rell crashes out, it's like he's feeling it because he's actually involved.
Right, yeah. Pun is always by proxy.
Yeah.
They did have a long conversation though. Adam, Mac, Keem, and Tiny, right?
They did. They sat there for a while. Did you think, well, Keem left. Keem actually ended up leaving after like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like they're trying to make it seem like he walked out on like, I don't know. The walkout didn't seem as powerful to me. It just seemed like he was like, I'm just going to leave. It didn't seem
I'm going to remove myself.
Yeah, it didn't seem like I can't sit here next to this white boy. Even though that might 100% been what it was.
Yeah.
It seemed really casual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The conversation?
No,
I don't know.
When they first started talking,
the walkout didn't feel aggressive.
It wasn't a big fuss like, yo, I'm about to make a scene just
right.
so Reddit knows that I'm not on this nigga's side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even though he got the praise for that. But I don't know if that's really what it was.
And I don't know if we like really mentioned it, but is this a betrayal? Is this truly a betrayal?
I don't know. I'm really on both sides. I like.
What's the argument for Mackwop?
I can tell you the argument for Mackwop. The argument for Mackwop's side is we're all doing content. Niggas have run into each other. Niggas have threatened fades for the last 2 years because we're at 2 years now. They've seen each other. It's obviously not that serious. If we're in the same room, it's not squabble up immediately. It's not like Hit Boy's dad to Tyler the Creator security guard. Like, hey, I understand we having a good moment, but I got to see you about that squabble after this. You know, it's there. Nobody that's beefing is moving with that energy, and anytime it does start to get tense, it's always just content. It's just content. That's what everybody's saying. Pun, AD, Adam22. It's always just content when things start to boil, right? So Mackwop if it's just content, it's not that big of a deal, right? It's, this nigga's allowed. If I don't think my two friends would shoot at each other or beat each other up, he can come and I can stir the pot a little bit. This is a storyline. I invited an op here. That's a storyline we can all eat off of. The things that are said during the show, it can all eat off of. So that's the only thing. It's Mackwop to me is moving more as a content creator. He is moving the most with the content creator brain, which doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. But it's a weird line in content. Like if you're faking, not necessarily faking a beef or an enemy, but if you're kind of playing up the drama of like somebody that you're beefing with online, that's different than playing up your friendship with somebody you actually think is your homie.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are two different. Like it's like that's just a lot hotter of a flame that you're fucking with.
But that's not a. But that's a flame they consistently play with in Figmunity world.
Not
that's
really.
To me. This
is the second time somebody has technically betrayed T-Rell, Adam when he invited his brother, and then now.
That's a whole fact. No, those are the.
So
those are two pivotal moments for sure.
Like
the brother
feeling
shit
2 times.
The brother shit hit. I understood that. Anybody from the outside can understand that. That was a hit, nigga.
What if you look at Mackwop like his brother though? That's like the homie.
Yeah, but they also they've had a strange relationship. There's weird things that have happened. Mackwop started off on back.
That's what I'm taking away from this. I'm taking away.
Started off, but like he was on back on Fig. Yep. They made signs with his name on it. They took his sign down. They brought the sign back to the Apollo. You know what I'm saying? So like they've even had a content creator break because Mackwop said, "Well, Hurricane always wants to say that's what they all call her, Hurricanes. I don't know if y'all, but Hurricane says that we just streaming friends, so we're just streaming friends."
See, I wouldn't be surprised if on T-Rell's side he's looking at Mackwop like, "Well, damn, I guess we're not as cool as I thought."
I think a lot of instances have happened to where they've established they're not as good as friends as we all initially thought.
Okay.
That's how I feel.
Okay.
And I feel like Mackwop is moving like if that's how we treat each other, this is okay.
It's okay, yeah.
But then when I do something that is fair game, take the highest offense to it. Like we were brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And always move like brothers.
So basically T-Rell was demanding more respect than he was given.
Yeah, and then when a line gets crossed, it's like, I can't believe this nigga done that. But it's like it hasn't felt like the smoothest relationship over the last 2 years either. You know what I'm saying? Like shit definitely feels estranged. And the only reason we I feel like it's easy for all of us to brush off the one with his brother is because it's actually his brother. It's like, nigga, these are brothers. They're beefing. They're going to be brothers at the end of the day. You type shit. So that's a lot.
Don't even get involved because
there's no point.
You're going to inherit their beef, and then once they're cool again, they both not going to fuck with you.
Exactly. Yeah, but it's literally pointless. So, but then obviously, I guess the optics on the other side is that this is a fully fucked up snake move on Mackwop's part. Which is is that where y'all leaning?
It's like I was trying.
I wish he would have told him, like told T-Rell, even though he really doesn't have a reason to. Yeah. But if you're really his friend, despite what Heather's told Mackwop, like nigga, we ain't that cool.
Yeah, because there's like compilations now going on Reddit of like all their little conflicts and shit like that. Yeah,
so and even then, you should still tell him like, yo, about to have this, the white man on here.
Because I know T-Rell said we were texting that day. And nigga still didn't say it.
And that's the thing, like
that always is
and
different.
I don't know why.
You just went to different links to keep that shit under wraps.
Right.
Which he doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to either, though.
If they were cool, you would tell your homie that at least so you could get some content from it. All right, you about to have him up there. I'm about to call up there. Like, what do?
And that's like what happened with us.
Hell yeah.
We went up there.
They planned it for us.
Yeah.
Run the play. Yeah. Keem was in the background. Got T-Rell on speakerphone and it was like, all right, get these niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, run the play.
That was a democratic play. You know what I mean? He was like, we're going to do
Everybody
this, but
was
we're going to leave it
involved.
open to the court.
Exactly. But for some reason, I mean,
I'm gonna tell you, there's a
guess-
couple things in T-Rell's rant that did hit. One of the things was he said, y'all need to do a do-over. Because I can understand it if you invited him up there to have a got you interview. Hey, you a PDF. You remember you the PDF? You know,
Yeah.
got you interview, you know?
If he would have, yeah.
And I think Mackwop is standing on the point that he did do that. And that, to be fair, that was the first thing that like Mackwop kind of got into. After it was like a slightly awkward beginning or start for like 2 to 5 minutes, then he was like, yeah, so how you feel about the Adam16 shit? Like he did get right into it, but I will say
But it wasn't with conviction.
It wasn't with conviction.
It wasn't like a prosecution. It was more like,
that's the biggest.
where were you on Tuesday at 7 o'clock? You know, just give us your alibi.
I think if Mackwop performed stronger on the 16 allegations and pressing you on those things, I don't think people would be in their feelings as
But
much.
it was like that for a little bit. They even pressed him. Adam kind of said some racist shit. He was like, yeah, you know, my white life is kind of different from the black life.
You thought that was crazy too,
I was
right?
like, that's the most crazy shit I ever heard.
That was
He
crazy.
and
I
they
can't
even
believe
asked
you
him, he
said
was
that.
like, so what is a white life? He was like, I wake up, I make breakfast with my family, I
Yeah.
drink orange juice, I have my ppeleton in my garage.
That was a mistake.
Isn't that,
And that was the
mistake.
dumbest shit.
And what's his black life?
His black life,
It was so. Please.
it was just like, hey man, you know,
I smoke some weed. I listen to drill
I listen
music.
to my Ghostface Killer.
Yeah,
I got
bro.
my malt liquor right next to me.
That was a bad. Yeah.
It's
It
funny
was the
how-
worst look ever.
How
And
are
I think
his bad habits still our fault? Like he's a white
Yeah.
man that is doing things that
Listen.
niggas normally do, and it's niggas'
Yeah.
fault.
that it was a terrible. I'm gonna try to find it real
No,
quick.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and honestly,
that was
that
terrible.
was crazy for him to say.
That was the most.
and lay out.
They didn't really
They
press
didn't even,
him.
They didn't even
for
know what
long
he was, yeah,
as they
bruh.
should have.
They could have killed him right there.
It almost it's. And I understand where Mackwop was coming from
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it could have gotten crazy. Like, nigga, what the fuck are
They
you
could've-
talking about?
If they would have exploited that though, nigga, that
That
would
would
have
have been
crazy.
bad.
A point and shoot video loaded in 24 hours.
But that's why
What?
they have
You know what I'm
us.
saying?
Thank
Like,
God for homeroom.
That's a nigga. That shit was crazy, dog.
It
Because
was
you
insane.
like, and that just speaks to the level of comfort that we normally spoken on that Adam has
Oh, yeah.
in these nigga circles.
Yeah.
He's been on the chitlin circuit for so long, he thinks he's a part of it. Like he said he has a black life, a shadow self.
It was bad, dog.
Him telling us what the white life was it was insane,
Damn.
nigga. I couldn't believe he said
Do you
that.
remember-
Like Heather and T-Rell don't also have normal mornings where they're
Right.
feeding their kids breakfast and
Right,
cartoons
right.
and shit.
Yeah, that nigga really could have. That was not a good one.
It was terrible,
It's gonna
dog.
get picked up though if we put it in there. Somebody could go crazy in that one point.
Yeah, nah. We might have to like just go back and find and just edit in the clip.
But yeah, I might do that.
'Cause
Yeah,
it-
I got multiple worlds though. I mean, I got like the normal ass white person world that I'm sometimes in, and then I got like the hip hop street culture world in which I completely understand, you know. So
Hey, Black History Month. Shout out Black
just
History Month.
paint the picture of the white person world. This morning,
I got
we
you,
wake
Jack.
up, we make breakfast as a family, and then we go to the private school tour thing. And then afterwards, we go to Barnes and Noble, and then we go to the ice cream shop around the corner. All right, so that's like day to day. That's a very big.
What you listening to
chunk
while
of
you
my
going
life.
there? What you sliding to?
Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Post Malone.
Wait, so that's the normal world of that world. So explain the other one then.
The other one is like, you know, hanging out in the studio all night, maybe taking a Percocet 10, you know.
This is the black world.
Going to Vernon Avenue, filming a vlog real quick. I don't know. I mean, like, obviously that is more, that's not my day-to-day life, but it is the that I sit and do.
No, not the normal black person world. You speaking like
Oh, I mean, there's a million
off the
different
back.
like lived black experiences. Obviously, you got black people that don't hang out on Vernon Avenue all day either. So it's like I'm not acting like that is the singular experience of black people in America. I've been around black people for a nice chunk of my life, and I've seen everything in between too. So I mean,
Tell like it's the difference
This nigga
between
said
the
he
black-
wakes up and makes breakfast with his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
And you gotta understand
and
that's what he thought was acceptable to put out in the world.
In the world.
Like that's the thought that he has, the perspective that he has. He's
Exactly.
like, okay,
Missed it.
nobody's gonna trip over that.
And then after that, they kind of just geared off into like, all right, so you and T-Rell, how do you think y'all gonna get back together? And you know, I put that
Yeah.
timestamp in there. It was cool. He said,
it wasn't that great. So I understand T-Rell when he said, "Do it over, do it again." That shit was trash. I feel that a little
Yeah.
bit. I definitely understand that because there were angles missed that could have been certain levels of the performance. I think in terms of Figmunity, as long as you do, I don't feel like people are analyzing the performance on those West Coast podcasts and things of that nature as much, right? So like there's a performance of like getting mad, but just acts alone, inviting this person to your podcast, inviting this person, putting these two enemies in one room, that does enough to where you can have a lackluster performance. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if they couple the outstanding performance along with the shock moment, it'll be twice as big. That makes sense.
Just the fact that Adam being there is worth the click.
Right.
And we're going to stay a little bit longer it being bad because Adam is there. So like you never know, he's going to say something like, you know, I have a white life and a black life.
Yeah. Tony, it was crazy.
It was crazy.
I feel like we should pause. Like,
do you think he has an Asian life?
I will
like,
find it. I promise I'll find it and
to
put it in there. I promise. Yeah, I'll find it.
But nah, it was some of the most crazy shit. And they didn't even, they just skated over that. And I wonder if LA politics is just like, racism is different over there. You know what I mean? To where it's just like, hey, that's some white people. That's what white people say. Mexicans have their saying. Blacks. It's real segregated over there. So they wasn't even surprised.
It can't be that different.
I think it's very different because the gangs make everything in general so different over there.
Yeah,
like,
but in terms of racism though, like, them having a longer license to say crazier shit in LA.
A longer license to say crazier.
Yeah, they can get away with toting that line. Like I feel like up north in certain places down south, white people are on their best behavior to a certain extent, to where they don't get. They might do it online, but in public, they're not really popping shit like that.
Right. Well, resisting the urge to lynch a nigga.
Yeah, well, they probably have their conversations at tailgates, but it's not on public display.
Oh, right.
And in LA, it's like where you're from it comes first than your race.
For sure.
It's like the street name comes first, and then it's like white, Mexican. Because that was the whole situation with the last episode. The whole Mexican saying the N-word, with Flacco's, the Mexican gang. You got a Blexican and a Blaxican.
But Heather listed all the moments that like Mackwop done some like fugazi shit, and one of them was bringing them weird ass niggas up there that called me a prostitute and shit. And
there's a little spice on it.
I said, I don't think we said that. But
she said it just like that.
We apologize. We kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? But it might be this. It might be this. Hit play because I think that's why I put it in here.
It's here.
But just don't put it on the screen.
For sure.
Yeah.
About me, goddamn. Tired of niggas talking about me. Swear to God, I am. I'm very loyal and very genuine, and I'm real as fuck. I have not been like my entire life. I'm used to this shit. It's a fucking cakewalk to me. And do I give a fuck? No. At all. Like Keem says, you really don't give a fuck. No, I don't.
They said they ain't talking about you, ain't doing nothing.
I know, but it's like blame Heather. Like, if a nigga's in my house, and he just with my kids and shit, eating my weak ass whatever gumbo y'all want to clown with my kids and shit on Christmas, and you invite every fucking op in this podcast shit that don't fuck with me, and expect that you're gonna come sit in my house every fucking week and me not say nothing is crazy. Yeah. Like that, I could have done it off camera, but I'm gonna say something. Because that's just how I am. Oh God. I can't hold it in, and I cannot be fake. If I don't fuck with you, you gonna know. My whole energy is just fucked up, face off.
Right.
That's just me. So when I went in there and I checked Mackwop, or I'm not even checked, I just let him know, like, that's not cool, bro. Y'all have this girl on here talking about me, calling me all type of bitches and all kind of shit. Crazy shit. Like, wild. Have her come sit. Then you got this nigga, big deal, want to fucking bash me, talk about I need a fade. Not one homegirl wants to fade me over there, 100%. And if they did, they know where to find me. So just bringing people weird shit, like all that weird, like people that don't fuck with me, that weirdo ass podcast, the 3 niggas calling me a prostitute and all kind of shit, like. You bring them on, that shit is just disrespectful as fuck, bro. That shit hurts my feelings.
Yeah, man. You feel me?
Bringing fucking Stat over there to get a narrative off on me. Like.
One quick second. What did Mackwop say that was like directed at her?
I think it's the fact that Mackwop brings their ops over.
Right.
That's really the main thing. He's not saying nothing, but his actions are.
Do they? Okay.
Like it's essentially his actions.
Okay.
That are
Saying
not him
different,
saying.
yeah.
I never heard him
Actions.
straight up say like, Heather, fuck that bitch. I ain't never heard him say no shit.
Yeah,
like that. You know
nah.
what I'm saying? But yeah.
And it's understandable, like, to not know how to feel about a nigga, because you be in my crib, we be all cool, and then,
Right.
you know, you interview niggas who say crazy shit about me.
Yeah.
Like it's nothing.
Yeah.
With consistency. I wonder if Mackwop even. It's hard to say.
But I will say
both
that-
sides have a reason to think how they think.
Right, yeah, dead ass. And then also, the biggest thing is that we got loading is T-Rell is sick of Pun. He's sick of this shit. He's sick of feeling like he's on the island alone, crashing out. You niggas said it's fuck that nigga. Now it's not fuck that nigga. I'm the one being sensitive. Because Pun got on his live stream and was like, nah, man, this nigga started getting soft, man. Like, talking about T-Rell. So he was like, man, it was crazy. So then he was like, T-Rell just kept saying, nigga, we're gonna see on Wednesday. We're gonna see where everybody's energy's at on Wednesday. Which is shame on you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find out, because T-Rell got shit he gotta get off his chest, and I hope the steam doesn't die, even though time has passed. Like, they streamed on Friday. It's a lot of days in between then and
It's a lot of time to dap up. And
it's a lot
become
of time to
homeless
dap
again.
up, text to have, phone calls to have. You know what I'm saying?
Immediate moderators to step in.
They really should have been an emergency shame on you podcast.
Yeah.
So niggas can capitalize off this energy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot more turned down.
Yeah.
Unless he's on some. I blocked everybody till Wednesday.
He
Now
would have
that's-
said that though.
That's some real sicko shit though.
Yeah.
I'm blocking everybody so I can make sure I'm properly angry when I see them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You wanna keep this up.
Yeah.
You don't want to let go of it.
Pun's an entertainer though. He'll see if it's getting cold. You know, he'll do something.
Yeah.
He'll do something to keep it warm.
Yeah,
Pun does do a lot of I don't know. They say, when I was asking them, the narrative right now is niggas are realizing Pun is bad for business. That's what the narrative. That's the strong narrative.
It's just
right
a
now.
liability.
He's a liability. That's what they're realizing right now, and that's what the main topic of discussion is in the Reddit. It's like, this nigga Pun really is like, he really manipulated some shit. Like, he made it seem like he had loyalty to them, but he's really only loyal to the Ace Boy shit.
Yeah.
And it's not the Figmunity shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like when I had the conversation with him, he said that to me. Because I was like, I told him I think he's bad for business. And I was like, but I also know you do other things. Tell me about the other things. And he was like, no, I don't talk about those other things. So that already ranks your level of importance. If one is so important, you don't want to share with anybody, and you want to essentially protect it from the area that you're causing mayhem in, then that shows where you respect each
Shows
one.
your priorities.
Yeah, and it shows where he respects it.
Yeah.
You know what
Your
I'm saying?
values.
Yeah, your values on it. And niggas might be coming around to it now.
Coming around to it now.
I mean, the traits have always been
Why is it
there.
always too late?
Yeah.
For shit like this.
Yeah, literally.
Well, I mean-
we're year 2 in.
Yeah.
At least
And they
based on
just
what we've
didn't
seen.
want to see it though.
Yeah.
And Pun has that whack 100 effect where I don't know if it's just bravado. I don't know if it's just like, you know, the way a nigga talk.
I think
but
he's
they
real-
just can talk their way into anything.
And I
they
think
can, their perfect time. Luck is on their side every time.
I think they give you so many positives in your life that when they do the negatives, it's hard to sit on the negatives when I've done so many good things for you that I literally lost count. But I've also did a lot of fucked up shit to you.
Yeah.
But the other shit
To where
way
it kind of
more.
gets muddied in
Gets
between.
muddied.
You don't know which is which.
Yeah.
Like, they seem like the kind of niggas that are elite at job interviews, but once they get on the job, it's like, okay, this is who you really are. You
Right.
15 minutes late every day.
Yeah.
You breaking shit.
Yeah, so it is interesting how, like, I saw something on the Reddit that said Pun, they compared Pun to Whack 100, and I was like, it's kind of crazy how they the way they framed it. I was like, that's not a bad take.
It's not that big of a leap.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a leap. It's not that bad. It's not that bad of a take. But yeah, man, we're gonna see on Wednesday, just like T-Rell said. We gonna see.
I hope
They-
they said it look like men.
But they really could have cooked they could have cooked Adam on that subject, and they missed it.
Yeah,
They dropped
nah.
the ball, bro.
It was bad, man.
They dropped it. But all right.